Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Austin Internet of Things, our first meetup ever. Let's get a big woo-hoo for that. Thank you all for coming. Before I get started, I just wanted to offer up a few thank yous. First of all, to Sherlock's for hosting our event, and also to Josh Clayman of Clayman Productions for providing us with the sound. And we are Austin Internet of Things.
It was working.
Well, thank you all for coming. Charles. I thought I did too. Yeah, we just had it working.
Press the down button.
Well, look at that, huh?
Good.
I hope so. I hope I'm still on camera. Okay, now I think we're ready. Okay, the first question everybody wants to know is, why are we here? I went ahead and put together my version of something of a mission statement for our group. It's pretty small. It only contains like 4 items, but I think those 4 items kind of hit on the core of why we're here. Now, what I'd like y'all to keep in mind as I go through these items, that this is all subject to change. I plan to lead this group by your suggestions. I don't want to be the totalitarian ruler of the group. So if anyone has any issues with any of my items or any suggestions for anything to add, please let me know. First of all, we are a group dedicated to the advancement of the Internet of Things here in Austin, and as such, we will always provide informative sessions and speakers on IoT topics at our meetups, from which members and guests can learn and stay current. I think everyone can agree on that one. The other thing that I'd like to see in the group is, I want us to be a sharing group amongst ourselves. There isn't one person in this room that knows everything that every other person knows, and in the end we are here to learn, and we're here to learn from each other. Another thing that I've started, I'm going to go into this a little bit along the way, but I want us to be a resource for IoT related topics here in Austin. And what I've done on the Meetup site is I've created a couple of pages. Some of you may have seen them already, but I'll be showing those a little more as we go. Another thing that's going to happen is when I started the group, I also purchased the domain austiniot.com, but there's nothing there yet. So my goal is to, for now, in the meantime, start building up our resources and keeping them on the Meetup site, but then once our website is up and going, transfer everything over to there. Another thing I'd like to do with the group is I'd like us to be a point of contact for people who are looking for jobs in the IoT space, and also companies and entrepreneurs that have these jobs and projects that they need help with. I've also created 2 boards on the Meetup site, one for jobs and projects that people have, and another one for services offered. So if you're looking for work in the IoT space, you can go to post on services offered page, and if you have a project, you can go to post that on the projects and jobs board. And then my little disclaimer at the end, the Internet of Things involves all aspects of everyday life. As such, everyone is welcome at our groups. All aspects of IoT will be covered at our meetups, including technological, business, political, and the social implications of this next revolution in technology. As I was watching people sign up, I was keeping a close eye on what all of your backgrounds are, because one of the visions I had for the group is I wanted us to be this intersection where business and technology meet. And it's a hard spot to aim for. But I think that if we are able to get like an equal mix of entrepreneurs and business people who aren't necessarily as technologically inclined, alongside a technical group, the coders and the hackers, to get those two groups right next to each other so that the technical people can answer questions for the business people, and the business people can answer questions for the technical people. And I'm hoping that in that mix, some pretty cool projects and ideas come out. Now I'm screwed.
It's on here. It is.
Just disappeared. You want to try to unplug the VGA and plug it back in? Okay, well I can keep it going from here, but y'all won't be able to see the slides, sorry, unless you can see them from there. The next slide just had some information about me and my background. I currently am a freelance web developer working here in Austin. I've been in Austin for 1.5 years. I'm originally from Wisconsin. Any Packer fans? All right. I've been a LAMP stack developer for 6+ years, and I'm recently getting involved in my own IoT projects, which is another reason that I kind of wanted to start the group. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science with a minor in electrical engineering that I earned in 2008. Previous to this, I spent 3 years as a large group underwriter for Blue Cross. And also in one of my previous lives, I have 13 years as a mechanical design engineer. So I've done quite a bit of different things. And I am available for hire. Hire me, please.
You said your family would appreciate it, David?
Yes, most definitely. And my landlord. Okay, and on the next slide, unfortunately, that was a demonstration slide where I was going to show you the tabs and pages that I created on the Meetup site. Has anyone seen them? Do y'all know how to get to them? And you just go to the IoT homepage on Meetup, and then there's a few tabs on the homepage. One of them says Pages, the other one says Discussions. If you can find your way to those two, then you can find your way down to the ones that I created. Starting a new group, there's a couple things that we need right off the bat. The very first thing that I'm looking for is volunteers at the administrative level, co-organizers, event planners, coordinators. So if anybody at all has any interest in helping out at that level, please let me know. Your help would be greatly appreciated. And also, as I mentioned, I did purchase the domain name austiniot.com. If we have any aspiring developers in the crowd or in the membership that are interested in helping put something together there, please let me know.
I can help you host it.
I already have hosting. We just need, it needs to be created. Thank you though. We need a logo. If we have any creative genius types that could spin up a logo for us, that would be really awesome. Oh, and I also set up a Twitter account, Austin_IoT. Unfortunately, Austin IoT was taken. I don't know by whom or why, but I got _IoT. So we need help setting that up too. And we also need sponsors. If anyone knows any companies or entities in the crowd that would be interested in sponsoring our meetups, please let me know. And probably one of the hardest things is speakers. Meetup groups run on their speakers. And I very much encourage everyone, if you have a project or a resource or technology or anything that you can think of related to IoT that you think other people would be interested in and you want to speak about it, please definitely let me know. Because you all don't want to see me up here every month. I promise. And also along with that is topics. I'm definitely counting on the group to give me topic suggestions. Because once again, you don't want me to pick the topics every month. And then my final slide, as you can't see, this is the audience participation part. As I mentioned earlier, it's all of you that are going to drive the direction of this group. So I put together a couple of questions, and we're going to go by a raise of hands here. First one's easy. If you're here, raise your hand. Okay, looks like most of you are here. The first question is, when you come to the meetups every month, would you like to see, first of all, IoT is so big and it encompasses so many interconnected technologies. Would you enjoy coming to see broad, like introductory treatment on various topics? Raise your hands. Okay. Then the opposite of that is, or would you like to see more very deep, focused, highly technical topics?
We have to choose one or the other?
No, because one's going to be yes and the other one's going to be not so much. Okay, and it looked like the more heavy treatment, the more technical topics seem to be preferred. Okay, that's good going forward for me.
Hey, David.
Would anyone, or yes, sir?
I have one suggestion. That another meetup I go to, they actually deliberately have a beginner and a advanced talk. You know, after that's a possibility too.
You know, a couple of years ago I did this for a different web group, and that's how their format was too. They had the first half was more introductory, then they would take like a 15-minute break, and then they would come back for either a more in-depth treatment of that topic or a more technical separate topic altogether. How'd y'all feel about that?
I like that. Strikes a good balance.
Yeah?
I don't know if they need to be at the same meeting. You had one on one month and then one the next month, people just read up in between.
Or you start them on the hour, then people can show up late if they.
Or do two in a month if you need to.
Okay. I'll definitely take all of that into consideration. Who would prefer to do introductory and more in depth in the same night, or as opposed to alternating? Same night?
Same night works. Yeah.
Alternating? Okay. How do you feel about having like hack nights or hands-on projects?
Yes.
Yes? All in favor? Okay, cool. And then who would be interested in coming if we had like business-related topics, like entrepreneurial-related topics? Really? Okay, that one took
Well, do you
me,
mean like startups in the IoT space? or-
yeah. Okay, cool. That one took me by surprise because looking at our membership, it looks like most of us are like software people. I didn't know if anyone would have an interest in the business side
A lot
of
of
what we
closet
do.
entrepreneurs in this room.
Okay, cool, awesome. That's what I like too. Also earlier I mentioned about, you know, the Venn diagram of what I'm trying to aim for here, and that being the business, the technological, and the socio-political side of IoT. Raise your hands if you'd be interested in coming if we had topics on the social aspects of IoT and the political aspects. Really? Awesome. Okay. Yeah, both of those last two really took me by surprise. I thought the group was going to lean more for let's just dig in and do technical topics. So, okay, cool. Next one is this venue. Raise your hands if you like this venue. Okay. And last but not least, this time slot, fourth Tuesday of every month. Does that work for everybody?
I was gonna just mention, for me, this is the third of like meetup on this particular Tuesday. That, you know, there's the Austin Java and the Austin on Rail. Now I got a three-way conflict, so I don't know if anybody else cares.
And I am working to identify conflicts. Before tonight, I was only aware of one, and that was Austin WordPress. But I learned that they meet every Tuesday. But somebody else in passing mentioned that there's a Ruby group tonight.
Yeah, that's that Capital Factory.
And what's the other one? Java or JavaScript?
Java Users Group is, they meet at the Pickle Center on this Tuesday too. It might be next week, actually, I'm not sure.
Okay.
It depends on if it's the last or the third, I don't remember.
Alrighty. Well, I'll look into that and see just how big of a conflict that is, and see if any members of those groups are also members of our groups, and how many. So.
Yeah, Meetup makes that really easy. It shows you can see, this members and these other meetups.
Yeah.
If you go to the ATX Web Show website, it's a podcast, but they have a calendar like every meetup that they.
Okay.
They're also on Meetup.com, most of them, but still, so.
Cool. All right. Well, that's everything that I wanted to cover. I guess now I would like to open up the floor for if anyone else has any questions, comments, suggestions for the group. Dirty remarks? Yes, sir.
I was just curious if there's anybody in the group that's already in the IoT space, like professionally.
The question was, he wants to know if anyone here is already in the IoT space professionally. Raise your hands.
Does analyzing it count?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay, I was expecting that number to be higher. This is cool. I'm so glad I have everyone here at the same time. So you answered some...
What is IoT?
Yeah, exactly. We might have to have that meetup. Yes?
I have just a comment for everybody. I'm a consultant. I'm on the Meetup. I live in Austin, lived here for 20 years. But the company I'm working for is in California, and they're looking for mobile developers and QA people. So I'll post it on the Meetup if you just mentioned that. But
Yes.
you can work from here. I just want everybody to know. So if you're a mobile developer or mobile QA background,
Oh, definitely.
reach out and to me. I'm on the Meetup, and I can put you in touch with this company.
Definitely. You'll be our first job post.
First job.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to do. I should have done this at the beginning, but is anyone here looking for work? Okay, I can give you all like 30 seconds if you want to come up here and describe what you're looking for. Let's give it up for Mark Harris, our first contestant.
Obviously, I'm not a PR person. Again, my name is Mark Harris, and I've got 30 years in the electronics business doing board and systems design work and embedded software. So I'm creating my own company now, having been up and down at various, got 23 years at Motorola, in a bunch of places since then, since 2003. So I'm starting up my own company called Small Dog Electronics. And the idea is, if you've got an idea on a product that you'd like to turn into something but don't have an idea how to do that, give me everything from either a detailed design or just a rough markup of it, and I can turn it into the prototypes that you need to take elsewhere. I can do the electronic design, the circuit design, the schematics, the documentation for it, and have it produced here in the country somewhere. If you want to take it overseas, I can work with you to do that later. Again, my name is Mark Harris. Company is Small Dog Electronics. I'm working on the website, but it's not online just yet.
Thanks, Mark.
I do have cards if anybody wants them.
Okay, next.
Hey, Brett. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you.
Hello, I'm Brett Sutton, and in the past I've worked on power electronics, I've worked on low power devices. I basically made half the hardware for a wirelessly operated thermostat. We designed it to last for 3 years on one coin cell battery. I designed all the firmware for that. I've been doing firmware for a while, and so basically I do firmware and some power electronics, schematic design. Thank you.
Brett.
Anybody else?
Come on.
I'm John Carpenter. I'm a longtime developer. I found I had the wrong color hair in Austin. If I had blue hair or purple hair, I would probably have a job, but since I have white hair, I obviously don't know how to program. I came from the SCADA business. I actually did some flight simulation work way back when. I was always real-time embedded systems development. I worked in the oil and gas business for NASA subcontractors. I worked for Hewlett Packard for several years. If anybody knows what a lights out management is, I developed firmware for that server management device for several years. And then I was a teacher for a while. I taught as an adjunct math and computer science at junior colleges in the area in Houston and here. And now I'm doing physical security. Actually, I'm just writing some scripts occasionally. It's not what I want to be doing right now. So, but it's keeping me gainfully employed while I'm looking for something interesting like what we're talking about tonight. So,
Awesome.
thanks.
Thanks, John.
Anybody else looking for work? Okay, then we have to do the other part. Anyone have work to offer? You want to come up and talk about your opportunity?
Hi, my name's Diane, and I have a computer science background, and I've been wrote software for a long time, and I've been managing it, and I've been in the mobile industry for about 4 years, creating a ton of mobile products. I actually have some interesting machine to mobile stuff we did with thermostats and radar detectors and stuff. Maybe I'll propose talking about those here if you're interested in that. But anyway, I'm consulting right now for a company outside Los Angeles, and they're doing a lot of mobile applications, and they're looking for people. So I also have some contacts with the machine to mobile stuff. If you have a firmware background or something, you can reach out to me, and I can maybe hook you up with somebody on LinkedIn. But it's Diane Harvey on LinkedIn in Austin, and I think my title on LinkedIn is Agile Consultant, Mobile Agile Consultant, or something like that. So. Does anybody have any questions about that, or wondering if they might fit in? You can reach me after the meeting too. Or yeah, you can work here for the opportunities I'm talking about for the mobile developers and the QA. So if you know anybody, we're just on Skype all day. I work from here, and so that's fine. So it's a very small company. And anyway, that's all I have.
Okay, well, I think I've covered just about everything that I have. Yes, sir.
I have jobs.
Oh, come on up. Sorry.
Gonna be quick.
Yeah. My name is Sean Frederick. I am the Austin recruiter for a company called Personify. We do enterprise software for member-centric organizations and nonprofit groups. This is, our home base is in DC. This is our brand new tech ops center here in Austin. We just started doing business in February. So we're gonna be hiring all of this year, all of next year. So pretty much anything you can think of that's in the IT space, we're gonna be doing. My two most pressing right now is I need some mid-level .NET developers. But even if I don't have something that you're looking for right now, shoot me an email with your resume because, like I said, this is our tech ops center. So anything you think IT-wise, we are gonna have open within the next 6 months or so. Send me a resume. I'd love to talk to you and get you in the pipeline. So when something does come up, I can get you on the phone and we can see about getting you an interview and getting you hired. All of our positions are going to be direct hires, so full benefits.
Thank you, sir. All right, anybody else? Okay, yes, now I think I've covered everything that I had. Oh, wait.
I was just going to ask you, how about an IRC channel for you?
Oh, that's an awesome idea. You could set that up for us.
All right, I'll try to see if I can secure Austin IoT or something.
Awesome. Keep me posted. Thank you.
So
Yes.
I'm just going to toss some topics out there that we should probably discuss, and that is,
Okay.
what's the end state goal of IoT?
What's the what?
The end state goal.
In-state goal of IoT? I haven't thought that far ahead
I
yet.
mean, or what about some really cool use cases in IoT? Anybody messing around with that? Or?
That's one idea that I have had, putting together a meetup that just highlights everything that's currently, like the state of IoT here in Austin, because it is Austin IoT.
Yeah, so I was just opening up to the
Mhm.
floor here. Anybody doing anything in IoT or anything cool with it at this point?
Anybody working on any projects right now on IoT?
Temperature sensing?
Environmental monitoring.
Can you, describe it, tell us what's going on?
Well, I have a number of large server farms that I manage, and as part of that, we know if there's any leaking or temperature changes, hotspot.
So you guys hearing?
And so, that's, start over.
So I'm working on temperature sensing, humidity sensing. We have server farms that we manage, and is there a leak in the roof? These are lights out facilities sometimes, things like that. That's a big problem for us. So we have to also hotspotting, is the blower getting the air equally across the data center? If anyone here manages servers, you guys are familiar with these problems. And when you have hundreds or thousands or more servers, that becomes very significant very quickly. So.
Anybody else?
I have a question. Why did you start the meetup? Or what's your connection to IoT?
Well, so far, right now I'm involved in one IoT project for a water leak detection company. This client reached out to me because he's a hardware guy and he had all of his circuitry set up, but he wanted to have his alarms generate and send SMS text messages and emails. So I've been working with him on the circuitry because I have part of a hardware background too and a software background. So we got his circuitry to work. He's using a pickaxe chip. He's using pin 7, the RS-232 chip to generate and send a signal. Now we send that into a TCP/IP converter which connects to the local router and then sends that code out. And then on the server end, I implemented Node.js socket server on my server that listens for those codes, and I designed and implemented the database structure and the tables. So when the code comes in, it gets parsed into 2 5-digit pieces. First one is the receiver ID, and the second one is the sensor ID. And then based on those 2 pieces of information, the server queries a database and then generates and sends the SMS, texts, and emails. Yeah. One of the cool things is when those alarms are triggered, it shuts off the flow. So, yeah, easy.
How do you test that?
I I can't see behind that curtain. He tells me when he runs these tests, and you know, he just throws a sensor. It's a battery-powered sensor. Put it under a sink or something, and you have to register it in a database. But yeah, I don't get to see too much of the testing. But he's actually aiming for like skyscraper-type apartment buildings with this. He's got insurance companies on his side, definitely. Yes, Mark.
That sounds very similar to some of the work I've been doing. But part of the problem is communicating from these small machines, the small processors, mainly 2 inches by 1 inch in size. How are you communicating to the server?
Like I said, we go through a TCP/IP converter board, and that's got a RJ45 cable that goes to their local router inside the unit. And we're also currently working on a wireless solution for
So
this.
you haven't gotten down to the packet level and trying to figure out how to send messages and what protocols to the server.
Well, like I said, for right now, we're using RS-232 coming off the chip, and then that's coming out as TCP/IP.
Well, you're asking, there's 2 little units I've been working with that folks might want to look at. One's a little Bluetooth with an Arduino type processor on it. I didn't bring it in because I didn't want to do that today. But it's about 1 inch by 2 inches in size. It goes for about $30. Just came off of Kickstarter. Another I've been using is a ARM processor with a Wi-Fi unit for $39 and a 24, 28 pin DIP package. So those are nice starting points if you have the hardware knowledge.
And if you have a Wi-Fi now, which is not the talk about, so.
Yeah.
A lot of people do in their house.
How are we doing on time here? Okay, thanks, Mark. So yeah, anything else? Any questions for me? No? Yes, sir.
I don't know, maybe we could just go around the room and people could, mention what their particular interests are.
Well, actually, I got to kind of clear the stage because Charles has prepared a little presentation for us. One last thing I want to ask after listening to Mark is, how about like a show and tell meetup? Would y'all come if we had a show and tell meetup? Yeah. Raise your hands, everybody. Okay, awesome, cool. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up then, and we got Charles is going to be talking to us about the Free Network Foundation. Would you all like to take a little break in between, or get a drink, walk around 5 minutes, and come back?
Sure.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Are you still working? It'll probably be like this for a few accidents. If it takes off. That's not,